How's everybody doing today? It is Sunday, 16th of October, 2011. And I just was just riding around and I stopped at Crescent's, which is a smoke shop right up from where I live, to get some acids. No, not acid. Acids, it's a brand of cigar. So, it's the middle of October, and we've had a couple of cool days, but today it's starting to, or I should say this weekend, it's starting to get warm again. It's probably about 95 right now, maybe a little bit hotter. Everybody wants to race today. So, it's weird. Whenever I'm in my Jeep, everybody seems to want to go slow. You know, 30 is about as fast as anybody wants to go. But anytime I'm on my bike, everybody wants to go fast and get around me, which is surprising because I tend to go faster on my bike than I do in my Jeep, and I'm more of an aggressive driver on my bike too. Strange. So yeah, not a whole lot going on. I know that there's some pretty big things happening in the news recently, but you know, I want to try to keep this. I want to try to keep this vlog as positive as I can. I mean, I know I've done some ranting in the past on this channel. And I really don't want that to be. I really don't want that to be what this channel is all about. I mean, a good rant is good from time to time, but you know, that's not a foundation for a good vlog, and that's not going to get. That's not even going to get viewers like having a good topic or something would. But it never fails. Whenever I have my camera on, I could never think of something good to talk about. And it's frustrating because whenever I'm in my car or, you know, on my bike just riding around, you know, I talk to myself to sort things out, and you know, sometimes I think of good things that I want to say on camera, but I always forget about them and can never quite remember anything good when I actually, you know, have my camera rolling and I'm trying to figure it out. But you know, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's something I've noticed over the last about the last year or so. With gas prices going up, there are a lot more people starting to ride scooters in Tucson, at least. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch here, but I almost think there are more scooters on the road than bikes on any given day. I see them way too often, and I don't know. I can understand why people do it, but you know, for the price of the Vespas or, you know, whatever the brand is, the biggest brand of scooter, you could almost buy a 250. I mean, one of the Vespas probably go for about $3,000-$4,000, and that's about what a new 250 costs. Hell, this bike I bought for about $15,000. So you know, you can get a decent motorcycle for about the price that you would pay for one of these scooters. And if I'm not mistaken, Arizona requires scooter operators to have a motorcycle endorsement as well. I'm not entirely sure because I'm not from this state. But I'm pretty sure they do. So, you know, if you're going to take the MSF course, or, you know, I think MSF is really one of the only motorcycle courses here in southern Arizona. So if you're going to take the motorcycle course, or just take the test and get your endorsement, you might as well ride a motorcycle, especially if it's going to cost you the same. And to a certain extent, I think riding a motorcycle is a little bit safer than riding a scooter around town. Because I see a lot of people, you know, when they ride the scooter, they're not really concerned about wearing safety gear. You know, they might wear a helmet, but I see them riding around in shorts and sandals. And, you know, you see motorcycle riders do that too. But not nearly as much as you do people on scooters. They're smaller and quieter than even your smallest motorcycles. So for people driving, you know, these bigger trucks like you see out here, they're even harder to see than somebody on 250 like this, you know, which is pretty much the smallest motorcycle you can buy. So they cost about as much. They're safer than scooters, and honestly, I just can't take a big guy, you know, a big muscular dude on a scooter seriously. It just kind of makes me giggle a little bit, you know? It's just so funny. But my buddies and I, we were out riding the other day. We were coming back down from Mount Lemon, and some guy on a scooter was coming up the opposite direction. And I guess enough guys on bikes had waved to him in the past that he decided to wave at us. And I see my two buddies who were in front of me, they kind of looked at each other like, really? Is this guy waving at us right now? So I wonder, do you guys wave at people on scooters? Because personally, I don't. I think if you can't be bothered to ride a motorcycle, then don't bother waving at us. You know, it's kind of like driving in a Jeep. I drive a Jeep Wrangler, and people in Jeeps wave at each other too. It's kind of like a guy in an H3 thinking he can wave at somebody in a Jeep. You know, you're not going to get any response back from him, because frankly, people who drive Jeeps because, you know, there's kind of like a club there, you know, that the true off-roading machine that Jeeps are, that a lot of vehicles that look like they should go off-road, like Land Rovers or the H2s, H3s, they really can't do it. So there's a certain amount of pride in driving a Jeep Wrangler. And I think the same applies to riding a motorcycle. I think there's a certain amount of pride involved in riding that I really don't think we should, or at least I don't think people on scooters have earned. Now, I know there are a bunch of people who ride motorcycles who also ride scooters, but you gotta understand that, you know, they're not even similar. A scooter can't even get up to, you know, 50 miles an hour. Well, maybe some of them can, but most can't. And here I go, ranting on again. You know, right after I said I wanted to try to make this a little more positive. I don't know. I don't even know if that's possible. I love riding this road. Because we're in the foothills, you get these rolling hills. And you got all these houses. And, you know, it's not like most subdivisions where it's zero lot. A lot of houses are up here in the foothills, you know, have a decent amount of land. So these houses just dot the hills, and when you look down at Tucson, you just get this amazing view of the whole valley with the mountains in the distance, and the spurs and washes all the way out there. It's part of the reason why I love living up in this area, just because the awesome views that you get. And you got the Catalinas off to my right, which when you get this close to the mountain, you get awesome views, especially in the late afternoon when the sun hits it just right and you get those deep oranges and deep red colors on the mountain. And it's just a beautiful area to live. I'm not a huge fan of Arizona. You know, I'm from Texas originally. But I have to say, as far as Tucson goes, the foothills is where it's at. Probably the best place, and the only place that I'll live in Arizona, or I shouldn't say Arizona. The only place I'll live in Tucson. But you know, there's a certain beauty to the desert. And that's not lost on me. So anyway, this video's gone on probably a good 10 minutes at least. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, end this right here, and thank y'all for watching. Subscribe if you like my videos, and there'll definitely be more to come in the future. So thanks again, y'all. Have a good day.